Niaje, karibu sana to another Sanaa Sunday session on this 7th day of May 2023. At the moment, tuko na 3 minutes kufika Monday ni 11:57 p.m. But kama kawaida, kama you are a part of the Sanaa community, the amazing community that is Sanaa, unajua our maxim, which is a question, ni what is time? Karibu to another session. Possibly itakuwa another hangout session as the video title inasema. As of now, maybe if you're watching this baadaye title imebadilika, nitajua depending on how this one goes. Nitafanya a recap of the prior week hadi leo, ni recap pia a couple of events that nimekuwa a part of this week, then tunaweza ona vile hapa kutaenda, kama kutakuwa na any person, any people. Our community ni ya watu nocturnal, ni community ya uchawi, so kuna possibilities infinite tukiwa hapa. We shall see how that goes. So last week ilikuwa another hangout session. We've had two now, even the week before that one. This one pia should be another one of those where tuli cover briefly 10 years, a decade of upgrade poetry ya Nakuru doing amazing things. Walikuwa na celebrate kufanya hii shughuli for a decade na walikuwa na their 100th edition. Wiki iliyopita kule NX sikuweza kufika. I really wanted to go and be part of the celebration, lakini sikuweza, but they did their thing. Walisherekea, walicelebrate hiyo milestone, a huge milestone. Kisha tuka get into our Q&A session, which is how nilikuwa design, how nilikuwa imagine the session kukua. Tukafanya a Q&A where nilikuwa nachukua questions from hadhira yangu na maswali ambayo nilipata yalikuwa kutoka the one and only Hazel, our one and only. Shukran sana to Hazel, continues being a pillar here at Sanaa. Tulikuwa na Babu kwa hiyo session, those two were with me. Wengine wenye walijoin hawakujitambulisha ni kina nani, but wenye niko aware of na walikuwa part of the live conversation ni Hazel, aliuliza maswali zile ziliform that session, na Babu aliyekuwa hapo kwa comment section akichachisha akingoja kuona my responses to some of those questions zile Hazel aliuliza. Kulikuwa na questions to do with Sanaa, future ya Sanaa, the plan ya huu mwaka, the strategies that tuko nazo, compare from my angle as I was responding how the previous years were to questions indiulizwa na Hazel regarding the same, kuongelea reviews. Other thing that came through as well ilikuwa the current affairs zile zinafanyika, the current trends, as well as the current political climate, na vile this aforementioned zina inform na zina influence creativity ikija kwa mziki and the arts. So he shared some sentiments regarding the same which nikifikiria inanikumbusha what we had discussed the week before last week, a question on AI. We've not had hizo conversations hapa hadi the week before last week, na hiyo pia ilikuwa kutokana na swali la Hazel. So then tukaongelea pia art forms that niko interested in this year that I want to engage more with, amongst other aspects of that conversation based on zile maswali zile nilipata. Then the following day on Monday, sijui kama our session ilifika Jumatatu, but hiyo Jumatatu nilipublish mziki ya wiki 2.047, which naona currently iko at 47 views. So that was the week from last week hadi leo. Kesho kuna mziki ya wiki 2.48 itakuwa inatoka. Kuna mtu mmoja hapa, asante sana for being part of this session. Like the video on your way in, nita appreciate mbaya sana. So hii wiki kutoka Ijumaa hadi leo imekuwa part of tamasha kadha wa kadha, activities kadha wa kadha zinazohusiana na sanaa. Imekuwa a while since niende events hivyo consecutively. Friday, Saturday na Sunday imekuwa muda, imekuwa nikikaa mtaani, lakini on Asante for the like. Asante sana, asante sana. Kama una swali la kuuliza, feel free kuuliza. Kama una any question, inafaa pia kukuwa a hangout, inafaa kukuwa na a Q&A which we have been doing for the past 2 sessions. If it happens for today, itakuwa for the 3rd session as well. So kama kuna any question regarding art, regarding music, regarding Sanaa kwa sana, kama pia uko na sentiments that you want to share regarding the same, feel free kushare. Itu ni free form, free flow kind of session. So Ijumaa kulikuwa na a play reading by Play Reading KE. Walikuwa na their session, their first one 2 months back, ilikuwa at the Goethe-Institut. Huko ndiko wanafanya the readings. Ilikuwa the Golden Dragon, a play that is non-linear in its style of writing. I shared my review of the reading of the play of the event hapa when it happened hiyo weekend. Niliongelea and shared how the experience was. Hii imekuwa session yao ya pili. Walikuwa wanasoma a play called Ruined by Nottage, which nilikuwa curious kujua when it was published based on vile iliisha, cause iko based in DR Congo, kuangalia vile war imeaffect the community and what ilikuwa ina cover in terms of the people involved from that community and that particular society, but also looking at a specific aspect of war na kuona vile assault ilitumika and rape ilitumika as a weapon of war. So looking at how that ina manifest kwa hiki kijiji, kwa hii society, kwa hii community, na kutie a number of aspects in between. So I wanted to know when it was published, something I was curious about based on vile the play inaisha with this love story and a moment of affection between two individuals. Ikiisha, something that we had not seen through the play based involving those two characters. So kulikuwa na someone named Christian mwenye alikuwa anaonyesha mapenzi yake na liking yake towards Mama Nadi. Mama Nadi ni hii place nikaa kilocal where the soldiers wanapitianga for their drinks, wanapitia pia kuna women there and girls there wenye wanawa entertain, and that is the relationship between them and our soldiers and the men wenye wanapitia hapo, na unaona also how they relate to this space na to Mama Nadi, how they relate to the ladies kwa hiyo space, and una learn kuhusu war and hizi moments zile wanashare with the girls there as they are taking care of them. Unaangalia how those moments manifest themselves and what comes out of hizo moments. So looking at Christian and ye kuonesha vile ana like na kona an interest in Mama up until the end. Obviously kulikuwa na hizo moments za kuflirt between them during the entire period, but saa ikiisha ndio kuna this moment ya kubloom that involves the two of them and an intimate moment as the play inaisha. My reason ya kudai kujua the year ilikuwa published ni kujua how that ties to the sort of vision ile the author alikuwa nayo, the playwright alikuwa nayo, na vile alichagua that as a resolution, that as a conclusion ya hiyo play, ya hiyo tamthilia, mbona alichagua hiyo direction. So nilikuwa nafikiria kuhusu context in that manner, in that temporal manner, kuangalia time na kuona how it ties to moment ya reflection ya this war that has been ravaging your place na this Central African region for years, na kuunderstand nini ili inspire hiyo direction ile alichukua kumaliza the play hivyo. The play inaitwa Ruined, na kuona this is someone now in reference to mama mwenye at some point alisema the statement I am ruined, and kunaweza kuwa na discussions regarding the symbolism behind the same, ya yeye ku represent the Congo, yeye ku represent Congo, and these are parallels which you can draw between life yake vile imekuwa ruined and the country vile imekuwa ruined, the relationship ile, the rebels and the armies and the militias and the groups zile zinapigana and how they tie to the country, then how life ya mama imekuwa and the people involved in kumfanya ruined. Unaweza draw hizi parallels, then kuona how both yeye na the country zinadai kurise na zina intend ku come out of hiyo state ya kukuwa ruined. So nilikuwa curious sana about the itonga denouement. Is that the resolution of the play? But that was the play reading at the Goethe library on Friday. Star-studded lineup, walikuwa na some of the members wenye walikuwa nao kwa the previous reading. Mwenye hakuwa ni Mwix, but ako still part of the team. Who was next to Mwix that other time? Juu walikuwa fewer kwa hiyo play ya kwanza. Kuna mtu najaribu kukumbuka na sahau, but Duita alikuwa, Sanya alikuwa mama alikuwa na walikuwa na 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, walikuwa na 7 new acts wenye walikuwa wanasoma, au ni wengi, na ilikuwa a lengthy other filled lineup, na ilikuwa na more people than the last one. Ilikuwa an interesting reading, thrilling kuona wakiplay out hizi characters, our characters, kuona wakiget into their characters and how walikuwa wana explore the story, how walikuwa wana tell the story. Ilikuwa something thrilling kuona na ku experience. Hii pia kama to the previous one walifanya in 2 parts, walisoma the first part of the play, watu wakaenda na break, then wakarudi na wakamalizia, but ilikuwa an exciting and thrilling experience, something that I'd recommend. We're a part of easy play readings ni interesting. So play reading KE, I believe, is the handle. You can give your email upate updates. You can also check out pages za Goethe, utapata updates on the next one. So the next one inafaa kukuwa in June, I believe ni wiki ya pili ya June. That is the next reading session. Ilikuwa Ijumaa. Jumamosi kulikuwa na conflicting realities again papo hapo Goethe, but this time ilikuwa kwa the auditorium. Hapo ndio kulikuwa na Dilation, a performance showcase by Esther Kamba mwenye ni the curator of hizi play readings. So conflicting realities ni conceptual art, a conceptual art based showcase na experience iliyoficha wasanii kadhaa. So ni this multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary idea that walikuwa wana showcase, and it is currently ongoing. It's just for a few days. So leo ni Monday, leo ni 8th. So uko na until 10th if you're watching this and you want to experience kile walifanya, hadi 10th Wednesday kuifanya. So I'll read the caption ile walishare the poster for the event with. Walisema, what is reality? What is time? This question is even more perplexing with advances in science and the growing integration of the metaverse, social media, AI, and more. 20 artists of different art disciplines and generations tackle this question for a conceptual art residency called Conflicting Realities that will lead into an exhibition that will open and lead. Is that what they meant? Into an exhibition, live performances, and discussions. The residency and exhibition are curated by the people who brought you the Movement Circle, another conceptual art residency and experience, Goethe-Institut, and the Trust for Indigenous Culture and Health, TICA. Hiyo ndio kile inafanyika currently at the auditorium. Inafanyika until the 10th of May. The opening event ilikuwa Saturday, Jumamosi 6 p.m. Kulikuwa na performances, so the different disciplines zile zina interact, ku question, ku tackle, kujiconcern na reality wa on display, from storytelling, narration to music, singing. So music in terms of instruments, to singing, to spoken word, to dance. Kulikuwa na visual representations of art as well. Kulikuwa na art in the room, paintings. Kulikuwa na structures, artistic structures ile watu wame craft na waka put together. So kulikuwa na a lot happening, and hawa wasanii tofauti kutoka maeneo tofauti ya sanaa, kutoka vizazi tofauti, disciplines tofauti, walikuwa mle wakicreate pamoja na wakatupatia what is the exhibition and the event that is Conflicting Realities, conceptual art. So ilikuwa an entire experience that merged everything that wali intend ku merge and brought all of that together. So kama unaweza pata muda between today and the 10th of May, unaweza pitia uone hizi conflicting realities na jinsi the different artists walizi express. So huta experience the performances, utakosa hiyo part, but bado uta experience vitu kibao. Ukiingia kwa hiyo room utaona art tofauti, expressions tofauti, approaches tofauti, materials tofauti being used by these artists to express their ideas. Uta experience all of that because that is what that is the idea and that is the agenda ile the session ili intend ku foreground. So that was Conflicting Realities iliyofanyika Jumamosi. Kisha leo majana, juu leo nimesema ni Jumatatu, Cheche walikuwa wanaficha Kendi Nkonge Mohol for their session ili ilikuwa ina celebrate a year of Cheche Sessions. So Cheche Sessions zimeturn one, walianza mwaka uliopita. I believe Mutoria was their first artist. Was it Mutoria then Jemedari? Was that it? Let me see. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Na pia wamekuwa na special sessions, special editions. For instance, this month wamekuwa na their main session jana ya Kendi On 21st watakuwa na a special edition ya Liboy, so they've had that. For instance, Jan walikuwa closed but they featured Nyash, memwongelea Nakuru, Nyash kutoka Nax. So sijui kama May was Mutoria, let's see, Mutoria, Jeme, sijui if July was Clef, because I've seen Clef kwa number of posters mara kadhaa, but I believe wali perform in December. I don't know if they also did one earlier in the year, so hiyo siko sure. August ilikuwa Slim Shaka, September ilikuwa Trouble Lee, October Sero or actually ilikuwa Kamore, then Sero, then October, November, then December ilikuwa Michelle, and hivyo ndivyo walifunga mwaka. Nilikuwa na mahojiano na Michelle during that session. I interviewed and talked with Michelle. Ilikuwa beautiful conversation that is available online. Ukiangalia Cheche Pod on Spotify, huko ndo how share hizo sessions zao, the discussions with the artists, hizo intermissions. Check them out on Cheche Pod, at Cheche Pod on Spotify, utapata all of them there. They share some performance snippets nowadays on Instagram as well. Walifika 1K followers several weeks back, so props to them. Au share pia performances on their YouTube channel, check them out in case umezihata one performances. Na niko glad that they've been able to record easy sessions and document them, from the performances to the podcast sessions. Documentation inakuanga tatizo kuu. Tuko in an era where we can solve that problem, and niko glad whenever people are documenting, and everything that tunafanya ina exist, so that is a big plus. Then January after Nyash, so let's Feb. Sumbuki who did that in Feb, because last month ilikuwa Jemedari. Ama did Clef perform there? I think, did Clef and Bandana have a special session? If not, I think alikuwa uko Feb. I could be completely wrong. I know May, Kendi, March na April. I know Jemedari was there in March. Ilikuwa April. I'm just trying to harass my memory here kunipatia information. Enough of kujitesa. Tetushani. Tetushani was the most recent, actually. Or was it? Could be misleading you. March ilikuwa Jeme, April ilikuwa Tetushani. I remember, because sikuweza kuenda. Because yes, so on first nilikuwa interview Elsie. Thank you for being here and for liking the video. Kama uko na a question regarding Sanaa kwa Sana, regarding art, regarding music, feel free kuuliza. Kama si swali, if yours is not a question but a comment, if you're those people, pia feel free kuithrow kwa comment section, nitaisoma. This is just supposed to be a hangout session. I've been having fun just kuja hapa na kuhang out. So the first one was in March, so hakukuwa na session in Feb. So niko tu sawa. Clef and Bandana. Oh, Clef and Bandana were actually the featured act, nakumbuka, because hiyo ilikuwa mwanzo wa December. Then Michelle ilikuwa on 18th December, hiyo ilikuwa the special edition, because after hiyo Clef and Bandana ilikuwa nafaa kukuwa their last one, then waende on break. Then they had a special edition. In December, Katoi aliplay in the Mijikenda Jazz. Aliplay in Mijikenda Jazz. They were there in November. How do precede Clef and Bandana? So, yeah, niko accurate. Hiyo nilikuwa nimehata. Na hiyo ilikuwa special edition, another special edition, but the main ones nilizipata. Ilikuwa Kamore in October, Sero in November. Then I mentioned Clef. Ooh, yes, they had Airosh. Nimekumbuka. Because on May, they had Jemedari. Sikuwa sure if Jeme was the first one or if Mutoria was the first one. But Jeme and then Airosh. And then July, walikuwa na Mutoria. And then August, Slim. So hiyo ndio ilikuwa yangu ya kwanza kuenda, hiyo ya Slim Shaka. Slim Shaka, Mr. Mutinda Muliro, Mr. Trabuli. Akafuata September, then October Kamore, and November kulikuwa na Sero, then December Clef and Bandana. Wakarudi na this year kuanzia March Jeme akafungua mwaka apart from Nyash with the special edition, kisha Tetushani, kisha tumekuwa na Candy, and then June kuna Ochiko, July kuna Lisa Oduor, na kuna special edition on the 21st ya Liboy. And yes, we have reviewed all of these artists that I'm talking about. Apart from Katoi na Mijikenda Jazz. So hongera, heko, pongezi sana kwa Cheche kwa mwaka mmoja wa Fanaka na kuweka amazing na intimate art na music sessions. Hiyo kazi mmefanya, tumeiona, create an intimate space where artists wanaweza interact na their audiences, and that's the environment ya Cheche Sessions. Ni intimate, ni close, and artists get to interact na wasikilizaji. Hiyo aspect ya kuongeza podcast sessions, create idea. There is also another moment ya wasanii ku get open na kushare more about their art, their belief systems, and more and more. So that has been happening for a year, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Hongera sana to the entire team kwa ile kazi ile mmefanya, ile kazi mnaendelea kufanya. Cheche Sessions YouTube utawawai, Instagram utawawai, Twitter, Facebook utawawai. Watafute mtandaoni utapata kila kitu. Spotify utapata hizo podcast sessions. Na uget kujua kuhusu events zile zinakuja. Nimesema what they have planned hadi July. Get in tune, jua what's happening, utoke uende usikize wasanii. The beauty of hizi events inakuanga ka ujue msanii, for your curiosity unaweza enda upate you just had an amazing time that hukuwa unajua inge happen, and maybe you come across an amazing act whose music would end up loving. So that is something that should be a plan unaweza make. Kavile naambianga kuhusu The Mist, utembe The Mist Friday magizani usikize wasanii. So hiyo ndio imekuwa wikendi yangu ikija kwa events za Sanaa kutoka Ijumaa play reading, Jumamosi exhibition na event ya conflicting realities, na Cheche kusherehekea mwaka mmoja. Wiki iliyopita Upgrade Poetry walikuwa na sherehekea 10 years and 100 editions in. Kuna mtu fulani ujichocha kukuwa a freestyle MC, alikuwa na celebrate 100 weeks of freestyling kila wiki. You try. Ako almost pia celebrate 100 weeks of Sunday sessions. Wild. Tangu 2021. So with that, hii hangout session, yule aliye hapa hajanena chochote, sijui ni nani. My live chat iko on, so najua si settings zangu, sija hata comment yoyote. Naam, sija hata comment yoyote. Jack ni fala sana, nimemtaja alafu akaamua kurusha comment hapo. Acha niulize Jack swali juu ako hapa na kuna mtu mwingine mmoja. Huu mwaka umesikiza Kenyan hip hop projects zipi? The last time tulikuwa hapa, tulikuwa on the spot, tukagundua kazi tu ni kusikiza battle rap. And the other shenanigans that una participate in and you partake in. So hiyo ilikuwa a few weeks back. Kumekuwa na progress, umekuwa ukisikia any Kenyan hip hop projects. Tulikuwa tuna discuss video zetu za our top hip hop lists, our top hip hop projects, hizo lists zetu. Then tukagundua Jack kumbe asikii zile kazi Kenyan rappers mmeput out. So ningependa kujua kama kuna progress at this point. But also kama una swali lolote ama comment yoyote kuhusiana na sanaa, unaweza rusha. Pia kuhusiana na sanaa kwa sana, swali, comment unaweza rusha. Kisha nitayasoma, nitajibu na tumalize session yetu ya leo. Kitu nilianza wiki iliyopita pia nitafanya leo. I will read something as we finish. I am enjoying doing this. Nilisema tutaanza kuifanya as I was reviewing Dilation na Roots event ya Music Junkie, evolution ya Kenyan music. As I was reviewing events, nilisema tutaanza kusoma vitu hapa. Last week during our hangout na Q&A session, nikaamua kujaribu. Na niliamua kujaribu because sikuwa najua kama the Q&A inge happen. And I read something. Na hivyo ndo hizi plans uko executed. You say them, then without thinking about them sana, na kuponda, you show up, the idea comes through, na unaamua kujaribu, execute, and that becomes a thing, and you keep going, na itagrow, vile itagrow, itadevelop, vile itadevelop. Once umeanza, ni hivyo. Everything else inaweza follow. And that's the way nili approach. So nilisoma wiki iliyopita, nilisoma a poem. Leo pia kuna kitu nitasoma hapa tukimaliza. Na hizi readings, the idea itakuwa I would love for people to join us live for hizi readings. Wakuje, washare vitu wamekuwa wakisoma. It can literally be anything. It can be a quote ile ulisoma, which pia hata if you do not want to join the live ndo uisome, you can send it to a comment section, or you can send it to me earlier nilisome during the session. Whichever way itakuwa comfortable, itakuwa convenient, haijalishi. For those wenye wangependa kujoin the sessions, you can come through and still read that one quote. Unaweza kuja usome a paragraph that maybe umesoma hiyo siku, or just before you came through the live, or during that week. Unaweza kuja uongelee a chapter that you read. You can tell us kuhusu a book that you read if you want to share more about it without reading something in particular. Inaweza kuwa anything, unaweza approach in any way, and that is something ningependa sana tufanye pamoja. Inaweza kuwa even a verse of a song. It can take multiple forms. So kama kuna chochote, kama kuna swali wala comment, nitasoma kisha tukamilishe. So brace yourself, this will take a while. So hiki ni kitabu nilionyeshana hapa wiki iliyopita. Nilimaliza kuisoma a few days ago, na hii ni one of the, in fact not the last, kuna shairi ambalo linamaliza. So this is the second last work kwa hiki kitabu. Inaitwa, the title, mada ni Fascination, Gravity and a Deeply Done Kiss by Lizz Asagi. There was nothing at all significant that caused me to tell of this, except for a sudden lapse in perception. How steam holds long enough to play against any conjured change in temperature, how a reaction can be so visibly shaken out of something as mundane as a shower in the middle of an ordinary evening. Perhaps it was an inadequate amount of ventilation. Whatever the case, I had never found myself before a room so vividly filled with vagueness, instilling an inertia normally reserved for a slipping off a very steep cliff. It had nothing to do with contemplation. I simply turned off the water, parted the curtains, and found myself not being able to find my towel. So unlike me. No, not nude. Naked. In a fog. It could have been a smoke-filled room in my last moment. I could have died, but instead I am alone and worried about it. There is a painting that hangs in a museum 2 miles from my apartment. It is a watercolor by Paul Klee, smaller than what you'd expect from any book, not paper-sized. It's strange how wood frames pronounce the empty space that emerges from thin lines and segments of color. When you see them all lined up on the wall, there is a strange sadness in the insect lines, deserts, and he wasn't even trying to be abstract. Some of them involve an image of a musical note called a fermata, which instructs a sustained pause, the prolongation of a tone, chord, or rest beyond its nominal value. He drew it on its side so it looked like a crescent moon. To musicians, it is known as a bird's eye because of its elliptical shape. Once, I fell in love with a married woman. Once, I thought that this body she left me with was able to have her live within, absorbed like an ink bird on my thigh or some secret bullet. But this is not possible anymore because I cannot stop thinking about her. cannot stop interfering with the nature of motion, have it grow out of me, let it envelop and circle, then gradually expand until I am freed to be nothing but an atom already accustomed to the gravity in the next phase of its world. I stutter. I don't stare long enough. I eat too much, then I don't eat at all. I buy books and don't read them. I borrow books and read them. I walk around the block and can't decide the best time to cross the street. I practice falling in love with strangers. I practice falling in love with my friends. I practice falling in love because I know that it is the only way out. That perhaps one day I will find myself hopefully lost with the gravity of a situation like her again. And then I will know why this feeling of falling is brick red. That it is not my imagination because I have been practicing. Because maybe soon I will be able to say why there is a difference between secretly falling within a building of thought and actually free falling quickly, like a bright glance, the figure of a hand stretching outwards, the length of a deeply done kiss. What's important? What's relevant? It always seems to depend on the minute of the day or nonfiction to the point of some kind of rage, a storm in the eye. She was talking about her soul. So this part is in quotation, so open quotation. She was talking about her soul. She was talking about the angle of her soul, the one behind hindsight, the dashboard, that walking sleepless giant chasing shadows across tables of the universe, knocking over chairs, twisting forks, teetering glasses. An animate angle that sweeps islands and airplanes into its lips at the speed of sound and swiftly closes as if an eyelid. The speed of light. You smiled. She was talking about fascination. She is thinking about desire, how it can only grow vivid once it is left alone long enough to feel itself as one thing, original. End of quotation. The storm in the eye of my life. I know, it's odd, but I should say but I should say that, but I should say that it never felt anything close to abrupt at the time. Maybe I'd been in love with her for 3 years, and maybe those years threw themselves into a wall and broke for 2 weeks, the strongest and loudest that ever happened to me. It scattered molecules, feathers in an atomic living room of a slowly disintegrating, slowly regenerating, physically political world. Strange, but it happens. Maybe if I start from the very beginning, nothing will be lost and it would be okay. I think that if my body were a boat, to describe the ocean around me will mean that nothing will ever sink. Don't you agree? Once there was an island that felt so alone it stopped. Got too involved with folding waves and how nothing happened to end this. It grew deaf and then violent. Then it could not tell the difference between land, flesh, blood, and water. Coldness of a flame so far below the peacefulness of the Arctic Circle, it burned itself down to the weak just to spite the watchful eyes of time. Wait a minute, that was drama. But this wants to be a story about semblance and the difference between the object and the subject of desire, the difference between a statue and a play, text and skin, music and motion, or an incredibly long sentence that says nothing about how one brief moment can go on to mean the world for a very long time. So, in 6 years, the millennium will turn itself over, and until then, anything can happen. The placement of the story in the geometry of inclining angles of this world becomes strangely fixated into acute and recurrent sections. Where once was science, you distill chance. Whatever the call, you leave messages and send letters from the storm. Hope that if anything, they will find a course of reference beneath the cooling screened images between the colorfully televised warnings of hurricanes and psychology. Maps were never useful in defending against tempests. So you write if you can. You say, wait, or Dear Miranda, nobody told me this world was an island. I knew that I lived on an island, but nobody said that this whole place was an island and there was an ocean and other islands. That you lived on an island around me and never knew it too. That you would live. Sign it. Once I was walking down 16th Street, had a nocturne being played from a car at a stoplight and actually looked to see if it was her. It was the same nocturne that I asked her to teach me. Her father was a pianist, grew around grew her around the mathematics of music, and so notes would nestle into the corners of her ears. Like painters' eyes could absorb degrees of paint, she had this ebony baby grand piano and would play it at night after she thought I had gone to sleep. 3,000 miles, and still I see her face in sheets of glass, ceilings, walls of wood and plaster, cups of water, carved up like a glance. And I don't want to think it, but sometimes I feel there is no such thing as land anymore. That maybe they're just boats who believe in rivers, drifting on the same ocean all of the time. It's so late. To some people, it is just early enough. The sun is going to reappear within a matter of hours. It has to. Motion is a habit that surrounds things that happen. When I brush my teeth, I realize that I am 27 years old. It is a very human feeling. Run the faucet, then you don't. In an adult body, walk through the short hallway into the angles assembled for an immediate future. Turn out the light and lie down. It is a long fall into the fact that it is so late and uncomfortable, but you're accustomed to levels of tepidness. When it was too warm, you grew fascinations. In these deepening days, all you have are those feathers again, and you wander in them. Months of carved knives. I can't go to sleep. I don't have to. So then I will have to watch. You know, the earth is nothing but fire contained within itself by tons of ocean and degrees of thickness or acres of soil. Every plot of land, horizontal then vertical, began as an island. They say that biology began on this planet as reaction to the accidental pressure, a leaning in and leaning out, chaos, chemistry, and the colorful length of desire from inertia, survival, a self-taught, half-expected emotion whose logic was not understood until millions of afternoons proved able enough to hold into evenings. I called her 3 days ago, saw her a month ago in the post office, then I saw her at a bus stop. She was standing in a Chinese takeout shop, then sitting on the dryer in a laundromat. Then I remembered. And it was so strange, but after I turned off the shower, parted the curtains, and reached for my towel, I thought I saw her walk out of the bathroom. She left the door open. Hiyo ni Fascination, Gravity, and a Deeply Done Case by Lizz Asagi. A work that is part of hiki kitabu nimekuwa nikisoma na nimekimaliza. soma something from it wiki iliyopita, ilikuwa shairi and that is the book. Asian American Sexualities, Dimensions of the Gay and Lesbian Experience. With that, tumefika tamati ya session yetu ya leo. Asante sana for joining this session. Sijaona any reaction na kuna button ya reaction for those of you who are on PC, but if you are on your phone, sijaona any comment whatsoever. Possibly you are absorbed in the story, I'm assuming so. But after I was done, nothing. Very, very unappreciative people that I have here as part of this brilliant community. But we shall do more readings moving forward, vile nimesema, in very many formats and including as many people as we can, as many times as we can. Iwapo una watch hii video baadaye, like the video if you haven't yet. Possibly you did so if you're this far, as I said it at the beginning. If not, it's just a reminder to choose an algorithm. Also, if you're watching this later, maybe huja turn on your notifications for easy live sessions, so please do so. Turn on notifications na ujue whenever naenda live uwe notified na utokee. With that, shukran sana kwa kujoin another shukran sana Jack for being here. Maswali za Kenyan hip hop Jack kuzilenga mbaya. Tulikuwa na Jack juzi, sajili leo ni Monday kwa our freestyle session. Asante sana Jack, sana sana kama kawaida. Wewe pia unazidi kukua pila vibaya. Maswali za Kenyan hip hop Jack kuzilenga. Jack ataka tuongele Madamuk na Big K. Tuongele Kafu na Tasha. Ni sawa Jack, ni sawa. Once again, hongera sana to Cheche for 1 year. Hongera kwa sana for kile mnafanya. Tuchekiane wiki ijayo for another session. Tuchekiane Friday kwa wale wenye si link on Friday or Saturday, whichever day itakuwa. What's time? Itakuwa 1 or 2. Shish. Tuchekiane Jumapili for another Sunday session. Asante sana for your time and for joining this. Niachia comment kwa comment section regarding anything that nimesema. Kama kuna pia swali unazouliza, if you had one or a comment, feel free kuitupa kwa comment section. Nitashukuru mbaya sana. And also your thoughts on the reading that nimefanya na pia on our plan ya getting into more readings and involving the community. Shukran for your time. Do not be like Jack when I ask important questions.